Hi! Welcome sa Physics in a Minute. Ang title ng video natin ngayon ay Solving Sample Problem for Free-Falling Object. Kaya wag na natin patagalin ito. Punta na tayo sa ating problem. Nasa problem number 6 na tayo. Assuming that we have this problem, a stone is thrown upward from the building. Assuming that the initial speed of the stone is 10 meters per second. At the same instant, a person from the ground running towards the building at a distance of 20 meters. Assume that the height of the building is 30 meters. What would be the average speed of the person if he wants to catch the stone at the bottom of the building? Pwede nyo i-pause itong video, analyze nyo muna yung problem natin and try nyo i-identify yung mga given value and try nyo rin gumawa ng schematic diagram at i-compare natin sa magiging sagot dito sa video natin. Okay, dating gawin tayo, ilista lahat ng mga given value na nasa problem natin. Base dito, nababasa natin dito, meron tayong nabasa dito na initial speed is of the stone is equals to 10 meters per second. Kaya ilista natin dyan, which is ito. And then, meron din tayong distance ng tao mula doon sa building, which is given by 20 meters. Kaya ito na rin siya. Ayan, check natin. Check na rin natin yung meron dyan. And then, binigay rin yung height ng building dito sa problem natin. Binigay yung height ng building, which is 30 meters. Kaya check na rin natin. After natin ma-identify yung given value, let's go sa ating unknown. Ang ano natin dito is ito, what would be the average speed? Ibig sabihin, average speed ng tao. Kaya ililista natin dyan, ang unknown value natin is average speed. After natin malaman ng given, after natin makuha kung ano yung unknown natin dyan, ano yung target natin, goal natin, kung ano yung hinahanap natin, it's time for us to make a schematic diagram. Kailangan natin yan para mas nalalo pa natin ma-visualize yung problem. So kung gagawa natin ng schematic diagram yan, base sa aking imagination, no, ganito ko siya nabivisualize. Depende na rin yan kung paano nyo nabivisualize yung problem. So ganito ko nabivisualize yung problem. Meron tayong building, tapos merong bato na tinapon. And then meron siyang initial velocity na 10 meters per second. And then yung height ng building natin is given by y is equals to 30 meters. Don't worry kung nilagay ko dyan is y because h is equals to y. Pwede rin yan. Walang problema dyan. Kaya para mas uniform tayo doon sa ating equation na gagamitin, ilalagay natin siya as y. And then, since nahuhulog yung ating bato, ang direction natin is downward, ilalagay ko dito na ang acceleration due to gravity natin is negative g. That means negative g is equals to 9.8 meters per second squared. Ayan yung value. Ibig sabihin niyang constant yan. Ang acceleration ng ating object o yung stone natin na nahuhulog from the top of the building ay 9.8 meters per second squared. Ngunit negative lang siya kasi downward ang ating direction. And then in the horizontal plane naman, dito sa ating ground ay binigyan tayo ng value na yung distance ng tao natin mula doon sa building ay 20 meters. Kaya ile-level natin siya as x since nasa horizontal tayo. Kaya hindi naman pwede na ilagay natin dyan is y. So x ang ilagay natin dyan or d. Pwede rin d. Depende sa inyo o depende doon sa pagka-introduce sa inyong physics dyan sa inyong libro. So this is x, stands for distance. Ayan. And ang problema natin dito is kung ito yung bato nahuhulog at sasaluhin ng tao yung bato, ano kaya yung kanyang magiging average speed? Gaano kaya siya kabilis na tatakbo para masalo niya yung ating stone, ating bato na nahuhulog? Ayan yung problem natin. Ngunit kung papansinin natin, actually madali lang, no? Parang madali lang siya kasi ang average speed is given by this equation. Ganito lang siya. Average speed is equals to x over t. Yan lang siya. Ngunit the problem is hindi given yung time natin. Wala tayong time dito. Although given ito, which is ito, ayan, ngunit wala tayong time. Kaya yan ngayon yung magiging problema natin. Ibig sabihin yan, kung papansinin natin yung pagka drawing natin dito sa ating schematic diagram, yung oras, papaliwanag ko lang muna konti bago ako mag-proceed doon sa solution natin. Yung oras ng pagbagsak nito mismo dito ay yun din yung magiging relative na time niya na dapat ganun din siya kabilis. Ganun din siya kabilis. Yung time niya dito papunta sa point na ito ay pareho dito sa time dito. Kung ito ay babagsak ng pagpalagay natin 1 second, dapat 1 second na nandito na rin siya. So, ibig sabihin, merong relative time dito. Yung time ng paghulog ng bato or sabihin na natin time of fall, ilagay ko dito, yung time of fall natin dito is equals to the time na dapat tatakbuhin ng tao para makarating sa dito. Ayan. That means, para makuha natin yung time dito, kailangan natin yung time ng fall of the stone. Okay, sana nabivisualize yung tong problem natin. Nasusundan nyo yung mga sinasabi ko. Ayan. So dapat, ibig sabihin yan, i-compute muna natin yung time of fall ng bato para mailagay natin dito at makuha natin yung average speed. Para magawa natin yan, since ito ay nasa free fall, kailangan natin yung mga equations na ito. Sinulat ko na lang dito. Yung equation number 1 natin sa free falling object ay given by this one. Ayan. And then meron tayong equation number 2. Ito siya. Ngayon, pagpipilian natin dito, ang purpose kung bakit ko nilagay dyan yung mga equations para makita ninyo at malaman nyo na rin kung paano yung pag-select ng tamang equation para magamit natin dito. Dito tayo, equation number 4 tayo. Focus tayo dito sa equation number 4. Kailangan natin makuha muna yung final velocity dito. Kasi ang final velocity dito is question mark din siya. Kasi para magamit natin yung mga equations dito, kaya gi-x ko muna. Hindi muna natin gagalawin yung may nakadikit na time kasi kailangan natin yung value ng ating final velocity. Kung gagamitin man natin yan, kailangan natin hanapin yung final velocity. Kaya kung nakikita ninyo, yung tatlong equations na x na natin ay merong nakadikit lahat na final velocity. For us to use kung ano mang equation ang gagamitin natin dyan, kailangan muna natin hanapin si final velocity. That means ang first move natin, since hinahanap natin ang final velocity, is maghanap ng equation na pwedeng gamitin para ma-solve natin si final velocity. So wag na munang i-focus yung time. Hahanapin muna natin ang final velocity. Ang final velocity is pwede natin gamitin ito. Bakit pwede natin gamitin yan? Kasi lahat ng mga given value na nandito ay pwedeng magamit lahat. Yung initial velocity, yung height natin, yung acceleration due to gravity, never mind yung value ng x natin dyan kasi nasa horizontal yan. Horizontal, nasa x component yan. Hindi natin pwedeng ihalo ang x component sa y component. Ayan, kasi free fall lang tayo. So lahat ng mga nandito, lahat ng i-check natin dyan ay puro y component yan. Ito si acceleration due to gravity, y component din yan. Kaya nandito sila lahat. Si initial velocity nandito, si acceleration due to gravity nandito, and then si y, which is yung height natin, ay nandito, which is nasa vertical component lahat. Kaya hanapin muna natin yung ating final velocity using yung ating equation na equation number 4. So gagawin natin dito is solution, solve for final velocity. To solve for final velocity, we are going to use this one, and this is b sub f square is equals to b sub I square plus 2. Pababa tayo, kaya ilalabel ko dito as negative g. And yung y natin dyan, ilalabel ko din siya as negative kasi pinaliwanag na natin yan. If this is, no? Kung ito yung initial natin, which is given by 0, yung nasa taas is y positive, yung nasa baba ay y negative. Since ang object natin ay pababa, nahuhulog siya, we will assume na ang ating y is negative kasi downward tayo. So nasa downward tayo lahat. Kaya ilalagay ko dito is negative value pa rin siya. Now this is equals to, ang value ng b sub I natin ay given by 10 meters per second. So ilalagay ko dito 10 meters per second. Be aware na naka-square siya, so ilagay natin square, plus 2 times, negative yan, so negative 9.8 meters per second squared. Yung y natin is 30. Ilalagay pa rin natin dito, which is negative 30 meters. Ayan. And this is equals to, according dyan sa calculator natin, kayo na lang bahala magpindot nyan, this is equals to 100 meters square per second square. And then plus pa rin tayo kasi negative times negative will give you positive, so plus pa rin yan. Ang susunod dyan is i-multiply nyo ito lahat. Multiply nyo 2 times 9.8 times 30 is bibigyan tayo ng value na 588 meters. Ito multiply natin dyan. yung m per second squared times m, multiply natin dyan, this becomes m square per second square. Ayan. And this is equals to 688 meter square per second square. Now, take note na naka-square yan, kaya i-square root natin dito. So, maglalagay tayo ng square root dito. So, square root of 688 meter square per second square is equals to 26.23 meter per second. Yan yung sagot natin dyan dito sa final velocity natin. Ayusin lang natin yung 3. So this is 23. 23 meters per second. Ayan yung ating final velocity. Bakit natin nilagyan ng square root dito? Kasi para maalis natin, matanggal natin yung square dito. Since ito is 688 m square per second square, kailangan natin maglagay ng square root dyan and then square root dito para doon sa medyo hindi pa medyo gamay ang algebra. So cancel out natin yan, and this becomes like this, square root of 688. Ayan na siya. So kaya nilagay natin ng square root dyan. So ang final velocity natin dito is 26.23 meters per second. Ngayon, alam na natin yung ating final velocity. Meron na tayong final velocity dito which is 26.23 meters per second. Ang susunod natin ngayon ay hahanapin na natin yung time of fall natin. So para hanapin ang time of fall natin, titignan lang natin dito kung ano yung available na value dyan na pwede natin magamit. Yung pinakasimple lang na pwede natin magamit na nandoon si final velocity, nandoon si acceleration due to gravity, at nandoon din si initial velocity. So base dito nakikita natin na pwede natin gamitin si equation number 1. Pwede yan. So ilalagay natin dito. Next slide na tayo. Solve for time of, ilagay natin dito, time of fall. Using equation A is equals to B sub F minus B sub I divided by T sub F minus T sub I, which is delta T is equals to T sub F minus T sub I. Yung T sub I, yung delta T natin dyan, para hindi kayo ma-confuse, ay pwede na natin sabihin na yung delta T natin, since initial time is equals to 0 and also the T sub F here is equals to the time of fall. Kaya pwede rin natin sabihin dito na delta T is equals to time of fall. Kaya instead of ilagay ko na ganyan, gagawin ko na lang is G is equals to B sub F minus B sub I. Tapos dito is time of fall na siya para diretso. So cross multiply lang natin yan. Ayan. May over 1 tayo dyan. Cross multiply natin yan. And this is parang pagpapalitin lang natin. Walang problema dyan. So this is equals to, dito is time of fall, no? Equals to, dito is B final minus B sub I over acceleration due to gravity. Ayan siya. Yan ngayon yung equation natin. Ang susunod natin ngayon is isa-substitute natin yung mga value gamit itong equation na ito. So ang B sub F natin is nandito 26.23 meters per second. So ilagay ko dito 23 ba? Sorry, 26, not 23. Mali tayo. So this is 26.23 meters per second. Kailangan malagay natin ng tama yung ating unit. Hindi pwedeng maiwan ang unit natin kasi yan yung magsasabi kung tama yung ginawa natin. Meters per second minus ang initial velocity natin is ito, 10 meters per second. So this is 10 meters per second divided by, lalagay ko dito is negative 9.8 meters per second squared, or this is equals to, dito na tayo, this is equals to negative divided by negative, ikuha muna natin, this is 26.23 meters per second, plus na lang natin yan, 10 meters per second over 9.8 meters per second squared. And this is equals to 26.23 plus 10 meters per second is equals to 36.23 meters per second over 9.8 meters per second squared. And this is equals to 36.23 divided by 9.8 meters per second squared will give us the time of 3.69 second. Bakit second? Lagay natin dito. Meter per second divided by meter per second is equals to meter per seconds times yung nasa baba is tataas, second squared ito, second squared over meter. So cancel out ito, cancel out yan, cancel out din ito, cancel out doon. So ang natira is S over 1 or just B equals to S. Kaya second yung kuha natin dyan. So ito yung ating time of fall. Or pwede rin natin i-round off yan para mas makuha yung sagot natin. Pwede rin natin gawin na 3.69 second or just B equals to 3.70 seconds. Ayan. So ibig sabihin ang ating sagot dito, ang time of fall natin dito is equals to 3.70 seconds. Ito yung time of fall natin. Ngayon, pag meron na tayong time of fall, pwede na natin yan i-solve dito. Pwede na natin gamitin itong equation na ito, yung binigay ko dito kanina. Pwede na natin yan gamitin para ma-solve natin yung ating average speed. Okay? So let's go to solution, solve for ano na yung solve natin? Solve for average speed. Ayan. So average speed is given by B tapos may dash dyan is equals to X over T, and this is equals to yung distance ng tao mula doon sa building is given by 20 meters. Kaya ilalagay ko dito is 20 meters divided by yung time of fall natin is 3.70 seconds. So this is equals to 3.70 seconds. Bakit ko kinuha yung 3.70 seconds na time of fall? Pinaliwanag ko na siya dito. Yung time of fall natin dyan ay relative dito. Kasi kung 1 second ay mahuhulog siya, dapat within 1 second, nandito na rin siya para saluhin yan. Kaya relative yung time natin. So this is equals to 20 meters divided by 3.70 seconds. Get your calculator at i-divide nyo yan. So ang magiging sagot natin dyan is equals to 5.40 meters per second. Ito na yung ating average speed. Ibig sabihin yan, para makatch niya yung stone dito, dapat ganito siya kabilis tumakbo. Yung average velocity niya is 5.40 meters per second. Bakit meters per second yan? Is dahil ito m over s or just b equals to meter per second. Okay, meter per second. So para masalo niya, dapat ang speed niya is 5.40 meters per second para automatically pag after ng 3.70 seconds, kasi ang time of fall is 3.70 seconds, andito na siya dapat. Kasi mahuhulog yung ating bato with a time of 3.70 seconds. Within 3.70 seconds, nandito na siya dapat, kaya tatakbo siya ng average speed of 5.40 meters per second. Yan yung sagot natin. Another solution is, para ma-check natin kung tama ba yung ginawa natin, kasi actually pwede rin natin gamitin ito, di ba? Pwede natin gamitin yan kasi may time man din dyan. Tapos ito ay pwede rin natin gamitin yan kasi meron ding time dyan. Kahit saan dyan ay pwede natin gamitin, di ba? But equation number 2, pag i-rearrange mo yan in terms of t, babalik ka pa rin dito sa equation na yan. So equation number 1 and 2 ay pareho. Kung napapansin ninyo, bakit hindi natin ginamit? Supposed to be pwedeng gamitin, di ba? Actually, pwede natin gamitin yan, but I'm not sure of that time kung tama yung, kung magiging pareho sila dito. Kung magiging pareho sila dyan. Now, for us to check kung tama ba yung time natin, pwede tayong gumamit ng iba pang solution. Algebra based tayo using quadratic formula para ma-check natin kung tama ba yung decision natin na ito yung gamitin. Papakita ko sa inyo ito, yung another solution natin, para doon sa medyo gusto pa ng medyo malalim pa na answer. Pero doon sa satisfied na dito sa sagot na ito, okay, you can stop your video. Pwede na kayong mag-stop dito. At ito na talaga yung sagot. Ngayon, ipapakita ko lang dito is for the sake of kuan lang siya. Mathematics. So, another solution is para i-check natin, no? Para i-check natin kung tama yung decision natin na gamitin yung equation na ito in solving our time, which is ito. Ngayon, para ma-recheck ko yung time naman, ang gagamitin ko is ito, yung equation number 5. Pwede ko siyang gamitin para ma-recheck ko kung tama yung decision ko na ito yung gamitin na equation. So, the equation is equation number 5. Pupunta tayo dito. Equation number 5 is given by y is equals to b sub I, sabihin na natin time of fall, plus 1/2, tapos dito is g, tapos time of fall square. Take note that this is negative yan. So this becomes, ang value natin dito is 30, tama ba? Balikan muna natin yung, tama, ayan. Ang height natin is 30 meters equals to, yung initial velocity natin is 10 meters per second, tapos t plus 1/2 negative 9.8 meters per second squared times t square. Ayusin muna natin yung ating pagkasulat. So this is t square. And this is equals to 30 meters is equals to 10 meters per second times t plus ito, multiply natin dyan. Step by step ko lang sa inyo. This is negative 9.8 meters per second squared over 2 times t square. And this becomes 30 meters is equals to 10 meters per second t plus 2 divided by 9.8 is equals to negative 4.9 meters per second squared times t square. And this is equals to, ilagay natin dito, 30 meters is equals to 10 meters per second times t plus ito negative times positive, so magiging negative na tayo, kaya instead of positive ang ilagay ko dyan, ang ilalagay ko dito is negative. So ilagay ko dito ngayon is negative 4.9 meters per second squared t square. So pag i-rearrange natin yan, this becomes, para magawa natin siya na quadratic equation, this becomes 4.9 meters per second square t square. So this is minus 10 meters per second times t, and then ito is minus 30 meters equals 0. So pagbaliktarin natin yan, dito is magiging negative, ito positive. So negative times positive, magiging negative pa rin siya. Ito, positive siya, ililipat natin dito, magiging negative siya. That is equals to 0. Ayan. Pwede nyo i-pause yung video natin at aralin nyo muna kung bakit naging ganyan. And then, after that, kung napapansin nyo, quadratic equation na siya, kung napapansin nyo. Parang ganito lang siya, kung napapansin nyo, no? So, for example, parang ganito lang siya. 3x squared minus, sample lang ito 2x minus, halimbawa lang, 10 equals 0. Parang quadratic equation na siya. So, yan na yung ating baseline ngayon para ma-solve natin siya. Ma-solve natin yung time natin. Now, if this is quadratic equation, we're going to use quadratic formula, which is given by x. Baguhin lang natin yung color ng ating pen para mas legit, mas klaro siya para sa inyo. Gamit tayo ng yellow. So this is equals to x is equals to negative b, positive negative, square root of b square minus 4 times a times c divided by 2 times a. So, itong term na ito, itong term na yan yung a natin. Itong term na ito, yan yung b natin. And itong term na ito, yan yung C natin. And this is equals to, substitute natin yung value. This is equals to, medyo may kahabaan lang ito konti. Yung B natin dyan is negative 10. So ilagay natin dito, negative 10 meters per second. Positive, negative, square root of, ayan, again, B pa rin siya. So negative 10 meters per second square minus 4. Ang A natin dyan is positive 4.9 meters per second square. Multiply natin sa, ito is, be careful sa sign na yan, kasama yan. So this is negative 30 meters. Ayan, all over. Sorry, ikuan muna natin, ayusin natin yung pagkasulat natin sa line para hindi masyadong mag-consume ng space. So this is equals to 2 times negative 9.8, sorry, kasi this is A, so ito na siya. So this is equals to 4.9 positive, that's not negative. 4.9 meters per second square. Ito na siya kasi ito yung ating A. So yan na yung equation natin. And this is equals to negative times negative is, this is positive na siya. 10 meters per second, positive, negative, square root of, ito is 100 na yan. Negative 10 times negative 10 is 100 meters square per second square. Ayan, minus, ayusin ko lang yung 2 natin dyan para medyo maklaro ninyo. Minus, this is equals to 4 times 4.9 times negative 30 is equals to, ang ibibigay sa atin dyan is negative 588 m square per second square. All over, 2 times 4.9 is 9.8 meters per second square. Ayan na siya. Next slide tayo. Kopyahin lang natin ito. Ilagay ko lang dito yung kanina. This is 10 positive, sorry, dapat meron tayong unit yan. So this is equals to 10 meters per second, positive, negative, square root of 100 meters per meter square, second square, minus negative, balikan mo natin kung ano yan, 588 m square per second square. Ayan, all over 9.8 meters per second square. This is equals to 10 meters per second, positive, negative, magiging plus na yan siya. So this is equals to square root of 100 m square second square plus 588 m square per second square divided by 9.8 meters per second square. This is equals to 100 plus 500 is 10 m per second. Positive, negative is equals to 688 meter square per second square. Since pareho sila ng unit dyan, so pwede natin kopyahin yan. Divided by 9.8 meter per second square. And square root nyo yan. Ang lalabas dyan is 10 meters per second, positive, negative. Square root of 688 is equals to 26.23 meters per second. Square root ng m square is m. Square root ng second square is s. Kaya meter per second na siya dito. All over 9.8 meters per second square. So ito na yung parang time natin. Time is equals to 10 meters per second, positive, negative, 26.23 meters per second divided by 9.8 meters per second squared. Now, take note na meron tayong positive, negative dito. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin yan sa extract into positive and negative value. But before we proceed to that, gusto ko lang mapansin nyo ito. Gusto ko lang mapansin nyo yung ating sagot dito. Yung 26, no? Para makita niyo kung ano ba yung ginagawa natin, kung papunta na ba tayo sa tamang sagot or mali. So yung 26.23 meters per second dito na na-solve natin galing dito sa square root dito, ay kung napapansin nyo is yan yung eksakto na final velocity natin, which is 26.23 meters per second na nandito mismo nakuha natin from the square root. Ngayon, alam na natin na meron na tayong final velocity. So, it's a matter of solving the time in terms of positive and in terms of negative. So, gagawin natin dito is solve for t if the time is positive. So, this is equals to time of fall is equals to 10 meters per second plus 26.23 meters per second divided by 9.8 meters per second square. Ang lalabas na sagot dyan sa inyong calculator is equals to 3.70 meters per second, which is kung babalikan natin yan ay eksakto dito sa sagot natin na 3.70 seconds gamit ang equation number 1. So now we are certain na tama yung napili natin na equation kasi napalabas natin siya dito mismo sa another solution natin, which is 3.7 sorry for the unit, that's not meter per second, that's second lang yan, second. So this is second kasi cancel out dito. Sige, ipakita muna natin kung bakit siya magiging second. So ilagay natin muna yung itong unit na yan. Ito lang yung concern natin ha, kasi same unit sila. So kung i-add nyo yan, ikakopy lang natin yung unit. So pakita natin dito, this is meter over second over meter over second square. This is equals to meter per second times baliktaran lang second square over m. Cancel out, cancel din ito, cancel doon sa 2. This is equals to s over 1 or equals to s. Kaya naging s yan siya. So time of fall is tama, which is ito. Ngayon, what if kung ito yung pinili natin na equation? How about, kasi ito sabi ko sa inyo, no? Ito ay pareho lang dyan. Disarrange lang natin. What if kung ito yung napili natin na equation para i-solve yung time? Ano kaya yung magiging resulta? Pareho lang ba siya dito? So, to answer that, let's go to this one. So, gamit ang equation na ito, yung equation number 3 natin, which is, balikan lang natin, hindi ko memorize. Y is equals to b, ayan. So, this is equals to y is equals to b sub I plus b sub f over 2 times t. Sabihin natin ito yung time of fall. Ayan. So, this is equals to, disarrange nyo lang yan. Ito ay i-divide natin sa b sub I plus b sub f over 2. Ito is i-divide din natin sa b sub I plus b sub f over 2. And obviously, ika-cancel out natin ito. Ayan. So, ang natira na lang dito is time of fall. So, this is equals to time of fall is equals to y over b sub I plus b sub f over 2 or just b equals to 2y. Tataas yan dito. So, 2y over b sub I plus b sub f. So, this is our time of fall. Now, gamit ang equation na yan, lagay natin, substitute natin yung value. 2y, this is again negative. Negative height natin dito is 30. Balik tayo dito. So, this is 30 meters divided by ang initial velocity natin ay titignan natin doon sa ating given kung ano yung initial velocity natin. Initial velocity is given by 10 meters per second. Kaya ilalagay natin dito is 10 meters per second. 10 meters per second plus ang final velocity natin dito is Asan na yung final velocity? 26.23 meters per second. Kaya ilalagay natin dito is 26.23 meters per second. And do the mathematics of that. This is equals to, ilagay natin dito. This is negative 60 meters over 36.23 meters per second. I-divide nyo yan. Equals to negative 1.65. Or pwede rin natin sabihin na kasi meron pa yan siyang kasunod na 1.656 yan. Pwede rin natin sabihin na negative 1.66 kung gusto nating i-run off seconds. Ayan. So kung nakikita ninyo, negative value siya, which is wala tayong negative time. Kaya hindi pwedeng gamitin yan. Parang katulad din ito. Negative value ang lumabas diyan, kaya hindi natin pwedeng gamitin kasi negative value. Now let us prove that by using again yung ating quadratic equation. Gamit ito ha, itong given na ito. Itong given na yan kasi positive yung na-solve natin dito. So gamit pa rin yung given na yan, which is t is equals to 10 meters per second. Positive negative equals to 26.23 meters per second all over 9.8 meters per second squared. So solve for t if the time is negative. So this is equals to time of fall is equals to 10 meters per second minus 26.23 meters per second divided by 9.8 meters per second squared is equals to negative 16.23 meters per second divided by 9.8 meters per second squared equals to negative 1.656 or equals to negative 1.66. Cancel out yan. Kita natin dito, m over s divided by m over s square equals to m over s times second square over m. Cancel din yan, cancel doon. S over 1 or equals to s. Kaya second na lang. So try nyo sa calculator ninyo, baka iba yung lalabas, baka iba lang yung lumabas dito, but in my calculation, ito yung lumabas, which is tugma dito sa time na yan. Kaya hindi na natin ginamit yung negative value kasi hindi naman pwede na negative yung time natin. That is why the reason or the justification kung bakit hindi natin ginamit ito, yung equation number 3 na yan, it's because negative time yung makukuha natin and hindi natin pwedeng gawing negative yung time natin. That is why ginamit natin yung equation number 1. Kaya ang overall, ang sagot natin ay, to answer this problem, the average speed is 5.40 meters per second. Yung nakita nyo dito is the justification kung paano or kung bakit hindi natin ginamit yung isang equation at nag-stick tayo doon sa simple lang. So this is the answer, and kung meron kayong clarifications, kung meron kayong mga katanungan regarding this problem, comment nyo lang dyan sa comment section natin at subukan natin basahin and sasagutin natin yan kung meron kayong mga katanungan. Thank you so much at see you in the next episode.